Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where I am recording pre-D&D session. I may end up cutting the D&D session, not the D&D session, the Animal Crossing episode, a little bit short, because theoretically this would take us to basically the exact start time. But I'm recording now. Usually I take this time to sort of like prep more for this session and that sort of thing, any last minute prep, but I'm going to be 100% real with you. I don't know what's going to happen with this session, so this is definitely one of the more improv heavy sessions because I'm not entirely sure what my players want to do, and I'm not sure they know what they want to do, but luckily it's a sort of thing where I know what the underlying plot is, so I can just improvise and reveal what is necessary. But we'll see what happens. Hello everyone, right now in Fawnhallow, 6:42 PM on Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. As the case goes, a lot of the time with D&D, you have an underlying structure, and then you have to be like, okay, well, this is I know what's going to happen. I'm just going to have to organically try and replicate what I think each of these characters will behave like. And at this point, I know theoretically conversations which might happen this session, but they're so open-ended. I'm just like, there's no point me planning out in detail what's going to happen in this conversation, because I mean these conversations are very directed by the players, if anything, rather than directed by me. It's not so much like a case of like, oh, me as a DM being like, you should talk to this NPC to find out more about XYZ, and then that I can plan. I can be like, oh, this NPC will talk about XYZ. If they successfully like navigate the social circumstances, they might find out more information or less information depending on how things go. But this one is sort of like these are conversations my players are initiating, and I'm not sure what they're going to say. So I've got to rely on my own chutzpah, I suppose, to really get through. And that's how it should be, to be honest. Well, not how it should be necessarily, but that's part of it. You know, I've got to trust in the groundwork I laid before for this underlying plot, for this act, and I mean, there's a decent chance that they uncover what is happening, or at least a big clue of what is happening. This act. There's also a chance they don't, and then they'll just be on their merry way, and I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure out another way for them to get the clues and stuff they need. But I don't know. It's all very up in the air. It's all very unknown. And that therein is the lure of a mystery. It's also very possible that my players just want to roleplay doing silly stuff for the entire time, and then maybe there will be no plot progression. That's totally fine as well, mind you. It'll be a stark contrast to that other D&D campaign where it's been like, whoa, big plot reveals and pieces have started coming together, big tension in the air, and then this campaign is just like, we're just having vibing, just having a good time. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about D&D all the time, or this episode. Mainly because the session hasn't happened yet, so that'd be quite difficult. What I was going to talk about was something I didn't talk about yesterday, which occurred during that James Blunt concert, which I completely forgot it happened. But I cracked my phone screen protector, not the actual phone screen itself, luckily. Phew! And that's kind of what the protector's for, I suppose. Although really the protector's kind of there more against scratches. I guess it probably took the impact of the blunt force or whatever, but it was actually really, really silly. Like, there's no great motivation to what happened. I was like, we were waiting for the concert to begin, and I was like, well, I've got internet connection here, and we're just sort of sitting down, we're just sort of relaxing, waiting. There's nothing particularly pressing up at the moment. You know what I was going to do is that before I go on my holiday, I wanted to buy some equipment. Maybe it's a book. I assume that's Lily's or Fauna's. I don't know. Or whose it is out of the two of them's. It's Lily's house, right? I should remember which one's Lily's house, because I remember I keep saying that Lily and Biscuit's house locations should be swapped. Lily should be near the waterfall and Biscuit should be the flowers, because I made it Lily, the deity, the guardian of water, and then Biscuit, the guardian of spring. But originally it was the other way around, so that's why. Lore, wow, Fawnhallow lore. Anyway, not the point. I was going to buy some, I don't know what it means at KG. I was going to buy some ski goggles. So I was going to buy some off Vinted, because I was considering buying some off like a much more standard sort of brand, like Mountain Warehouse is like where I got a lot of my stuff from. And then I looked at the prices and I was like, okay, £40 is like, I mean, it's on sale at the moment, but I was like, I don't know what these brands are. And apparently there's like this really good brand. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It starts with O or something. It could be Fawnhallow, so we might as well ask you. But you know, like my friends got a lot of their stuff on Vinted, and I was like, okay, you know, I should actually check out Vinted more. Like mostly I just sort of window shop on it, but now like I actually buy something from it. And yeah, and I saw like a really good brand, which like those goggles normally go for like hundreds or like 100 and something, and it was like 30 something pounds, and I was like, that's pretty good. I'll take it. And I was purchasing it, but of course this is the first time I used Vinted. Oh, you just gave me your photo. That's crazy. It's the first time I used Vinted, so it didn't have my card details on there. So I remember I was basically like fetching my purse, my bag, and just like taking out my card to put in my card details. I don't know why I didn't use Google Pay, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why I manually put in my card details in retrospect. You know, it's because I guess initially I was trying to do it through Amex. But then they didn't take Amex, so then I just used my other card instead. But what happened is I was sitting on my coat. My coat was the very long sort of coat, overcoat, top coat, you might say. So it like sort of falls down the side of a chair or whatever. And I was also sitting at the very end of a row, so there was the concrete steps next to me. And what happened was I was just balancing my phone on my leg and I accidentally knocked it off. I don't remember how. I don't remember if it was due to clumsiness, or I don't know if it was just something else entirely, but something happened, my phone knocked off, and it was crazy because I saw it really slowly fall. It like slipped off my like thigh onto the chair, and it sort of like did a little roll onto the coat, which was basically acting as like a canopy at this point. It was like a, you know, like in circus where trapeze artists have like those nets which catch them, which like sort of give way to sort of increase the time of contact and thus decrease the force because it's increasing the moment, or no, it's keeping the moment the same or something, essentially. It's like that. It like softened its blow as it like landed on my coat and then started like sliding down my coat and then hit the ground. And I was like, oh, okay, whoops, didn't mean for that to happen. I picked it up and then I saw in the corner of my phone screen, it's cracked. Just like a pretty, not like a huge crack or anything, mind you. It's maybe like a centimetre by a centimetre or something, but it has made fractures across like most of the screen protector. And I looked at it and I was like almost a little bit outraged. I was like, how did you break from this? My theory goes is that while it landed on the coat, maybe it like hit the very, very corner of like one of the stairs as it slid down or something, and that must be what ended up cracking it. And I'm glad, I want to establish this, I'm glad it cracked the protector and not the actual phone screen. Because I think I've only ever cracked a phone screen slightly once in my life. And it was from a very, like, it was also like me dropping my phone. Well, the crazy part was it was in my coat pocket, and as I went to like sit down in a car, it fell out my coat pocket, and I picked it up and I saw it was cracked, and I was like, how? It cracked underneath a protector. So that's the only other time. I'm like, all my other phones have remained uncracked. I'm completely free of damage, etc., etc. And I am glad that this time it was only just the protector. Actually, now I think about it, the other time might have also just been the protector. I can't remember if it was the actual phone screen or the protector itself. I think it actually was just the protector. Was it this phone? I don't remember if it was this phone or not. No, I think it was my previous phone. But I must have cracked my phone protector, my previous phone protector at some point, because I bought a free pack and I basically fished out trying to find where my other screen protectors were, and I found I've only got one left out of this free pack. So I guess some other time I must have replaced it, and I don't recall. But it was really funny because I was literally just talking to my other friend earlier, and he was like, oh, you know, like I drop my phone probably on average of 3 times a day. And I was like, that is insanity. You drop your phone 3 times a day. How? How is that even possible? But that's what he says he does. And, you know, I mean, I believe him. I'm not going to like call him a liar or anything. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, maybe he's just like dropping it onto like a carpet or something. But he's like dropping it onto floorboards and stuff. And he has no case and no screen protector, mind you. And I was like, how's your phone not cracked or broken? And sometimes he says it does, but like this one's surviving so far. And I was like, that's crazy. And it was just so ironic that we had that conversation, and I'm being like, I've dropped my phone like once that I can think of, and that one time I dropped it, it didn't. No, I probably dropped my phone a couple of times, but like I probably dropped my phone, all my phones in total, less than I'm gonna guess less than like 15 times in total. And most of the drops are onto carpet or onto my bed because I tend to be rather careful, or onto my face, I guess. But that's like not, it's not like I've got razor sharp cheekbones or anything. There's only twice I can think of dropping it onto a hard surface, and both the times have ended up cracking my screen protector. The first time being on one when I like got out of the car and it got into the car and it just dropped and it broke, and I was like, damn, these shallow pockets in this coat did not hold my phone. And the second time being literally on Sunday, and it wasn't even onto the concrete, is the crazy part. It was onto my coat, which acts as like a balcony to the concrete, and that somehow cracked it. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, so I wasn't particularly outraged. So, okay, in the moment I was outraged because I was like, how did that break from it? And then afterwards, I found it very funny. My friends, of course, also found it funny, but also were just like, damn, I'm like, sorry that happened. But again, it doesn't really matter. It's the protector. That's what the protector's there for. It's there to take the hit, so the screen itself doesn't. And I've got a spare one. I haven't had the chance to change it yet because I've been pretty busy over the past few days. Mainly because Monday, Wednesday had D&D, and then Tuesday I had to record. I had to record some things, and I had to finish off the thumbnail for the next series, which I was following on from Everhood. So I haven't had a chance to do that. I guess I'll probably have a chance either tomorrow or Friday. I don't know which one will be more convenient, or maybe later today. I'm not sure. But it's genuinely crazy. Like, if anything, there's like a cruel irony in it with how careful I like to be with my phone. Like getting a case, getting a protector, like immediately, all that sort of thing. Always very careful with how I hold it, and put it in pockets. Like set it down carefully, make sure it's never like near the edge of a thing. And then like the 2 times I lapse slightly in it, like putting it in a shallow pocket, this time balancing it on my thigh rather than like putting it down more securely into my handbag or something. It cracked my phone. I was like, how does this happen? I mean, the obvious answer is it's not me doing that which cracks my phone. It's more like my phone can only crack because of those situations in the first place. And I'm sure there's other times I've done something precarious and not really thought about it. Because it didn't crack my phone, so I didn't remember it. But there is a sort of cruel irony, I think, in it. For me being outraged at my friend dropping his phone so often, and it being like, you should be more careful, but immediately cracking my screen protector. I understand that irony in there. Humbling, if anything. The holier than thou attitude. Reduced to ashes. Dust. Gone with the wind. But yeah. I'm glad that phone protectors exist. And the other thing I actually completely forgot I wanted to buy was I wanted to buy a phone strap, because I talked about this before, but I'm not sure where she is at the moment, but I used to have this Halloween mini phone charm, which I always put on my phone from my trip to South Korea. How many years ago now has it been? 6 years ago? 2019? That sounds about right. And recently, like 2 weeks ago or something, the phone charm actually like snapped off completely. And that's always what I used to be like the strap on my phone to make sure I always held it. And now I don't have anything. So I need to buy like a new phone charm strap or something. Minnie's still here. Don't you worry. I haven't lost her or anything like that. And I tend to keep using her as my phone charm for as long as I suppose she lasts, if anything. She's missing her hand, which used to have an umbrella, like the paint. She's missing her nose. Like the paint is now chipping off on like the parts which are like pointing, sticking out. The little hook which has been like drilled into her hat has like fallen out numerous times, so much so that I basically super glued it back into place to make sure it actually stays. I've almost lost it like thrice, I think, because of that little hook thing into her hat. It's genuinely, it's just like a really cheap phone charm or whatever, but I don't know, I guess I have a sentimental attachment to it such that I want to keep it around. But yeah, I need to get a phone charm strap, and I need to get one which not only can act as like a wrist strap for my phone, I want one also that I can attach this mini thing to. I'm not sure how it's going to work necessarily, because all the phone charm straps, I must say, are very, very like beady, like crystally, plastic crystals, and I'm like, I don't really want that. If anything, I'd rather have like a leather strap or something. Or like a rope strap or something. I don't want like these butterflies. The cherry one's actually kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. But like, I don't know. I don't need these decorative plastic beads. I want, yeah, something like this. Wait, hold on. Maybe I need phone wrist strap. But like this one looks like a Wii remote strap. That's exactly what I wanted, you know? I just don't know how I'm going to attach Mini to it. I guess I'll just have like, I'll hook Mini around the actual strap part itself. I haven't really thought it through. Anyway, yeah, I know there's the like really long ones as well, like the lanyard like shoulder ones as well, but I don't really like, I kind of prefer the wrist ones. Because I already wear like handbags which like sort of go around the shoulder and that sort of thing. I think it's a bit much to also have like a big strap for my phone as well. I'd much rather have a smaller, lighter phone strap which I can use, you know? That's just kind of what I'm used to. So I can buy this. It's got a pack of 5. I think it's a bit wasteful just to buy this pack of 5 or something. Just like that. Not wasteful in the sense that like, oh, it's terrible, but it's more like free delivery doesn't work, right? You can get lots of different colours. I guess I could mix and match. I could put one on either side of my phone because it's attached to my phone case, if anything. Anyway, cracked phone screens. It's coming up to 7. No one's joined the voice channel yet, so I guess I'll keep on talking. Certainly some of my friends have definitely cracked their screens a lot. Or not a lot, as the case may be. And I don't have like the biggest phone case. Like, I could get a sturdier phone case to prevent against bumps and scratches even more. But I like having this one. One, because I like this brand, which is Ringeki. Well, I think that's what this brand is, and I always try and buy those. Because they have nice sort of like lightweight ones, which I know they're probably not the greatest protection or whatever, but they also have like a clear plastic back where it's very obvious that you can put your own photo or whatever you like in the back, so you can sort of self-decorate. I will say my one's getting a little bit yellowed. Now the clear plastic is starting to get sun bleached, which is kind of what happens with a clear plastic. See, that's the thing I didn't like about this Ringeki one. So what the previous ones I used to have always had like a black border, and then the back face was clear plastic, which is what I liked. But this one is clear plastic all the way around, which means that this yellowing is much more apparent, this sort of sun bleaching. Sun dyeing? I don't even know what it's called. But I do like, I like having my own little custom thing I could put on my back. I don't know why this has started sort of crawling up ever so slightly. It's a bit more awkward with whatever pixel I've got right now, because it's kind of like, it's got this big old bar at the back. Which means I had to like cut out a small piece of paper to fill up the top part, you know? There you go, just sort of adjusting it so it's a bit more even Stevens, a bit more level. That works. It would be nice if I didn't have to print it on matte paper, if I could print it on like a glossy paper or something, but anywho. Oh, I can see people have a D&D call now. Right, I'll round this episode off here. Yeah, I'm going to replace my screen protector at some point soon. But for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.